boy Turntup Mike with the Very Important Podcast, and I'm accompanied by my brother, Michael Carpenter, MC, founder of Illuminate. Y'all remember talking to him before, and you have a big rally coming up, right?
Yeah, we are calling it the Unity Rally next Saturday, June 13th from 6 to 8 at Yetti Polk Park in Belton.
Yes, sir.
We have a problem in this country, and we all have the responsibility to come together to fix it.
You must change your definition of what we is.
Not every part of the body, works the same, but they work together, and that's what unity essentially is.
The term "we" is not in reference to a color, it's in reference to unity. White people, we need you.
Unity is, I don't have to agree with you, you don't have to agree with me, but I still will treat you with kindness and respect. I still will allow my heart to lead first.
It's time for unity.
And I will be in attendance, so I want to make sure you guys heard that. What are y'all pushing? Unity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think in this time in history, 2020, I think especially with the whole George Floyd situation and just the racial tension we have in America, I think everyone's kind of choosing sides.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like, are you all lives matter or Black lives matter? Are you are you protesting or are you not protesting? Are you for the looters? You're not. Everybody's just like choosing their sides. Are you Democrat or Republican? Are you team Donald Trump? It's just like there's so many sides.
So many sides you can't choose.
And to me, it's just like we're not gonna get anywhere if we just keep choosing sides. We're never gonna make any progress. We're just gonna still get stuck here. And so there's gonna have to be courageous people that step out, that step into that middle ground, into that no man's land, and start to bridge and connect us and create unity and say, hey, well, let's work together. We all know there's a problem now. We've had a problem for a long time, but now it's come to the light and it's clear as day. You know what I mean? You can't watch that 8-minute video and not say that we don't have a problem and see all the hundreds of other videos just like it out there. And so it's time for us to really come together, Black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whoever you are, and let's figure out a way that we can come together and fix this problem together. And so I think that's what I want to lead out in. I don't want to lead out in in my Black Lives Matter and let that be my only thing that I champion. Let's champion that Black Lives Matter, yes, but let's also champion bridging gaps and unity and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome because definitely I have been on the fence myself on.
Yeah.
Am I Black Lives Matter? Am I just for my people? Mm-hmm. Am I just gonna regardless of the other white people trying to help me out and stuff, do I accept that? And that's really we're on the earth together. We're supposed to be doing things together, and our problem is the Black Lives Matter movement and racial injustice is just prominent right now. And yeah, it's good. We need to come together. That's the only way things could get fixed. No one is successful on their own.
Yeah.
And we all see there is racial injustice. We need to voice that together.
Yeah.
We need a voice. We need to rally. We need to do things the right way. And
yeah,
it's hard to tell what's the right way.
It is hard to tell what's the right way in the sense that I think it's sometimes we make things so black and white and we oversimplify things sometimes, and our world is very complex and there's so many different issues that overlap each other, and it can be so hard and overwhelming. I mean, I've been overwhelmed trying to decide, hey, where am I gonna where do I land at? You know what I mean? Because I have a lot of white friends that I love and respect very much. You know what I mean? And some of them have a differing opinion than I do. So I'm like, look, do I just cut these people out of my life? People who've invested in, who love me, because their opinion's a little bit different? Or there's black people that are going a little too far. You know, the rioters, like, hey, like they feel justified in doing it. And I'm like, where do you land at? There's no, like, it's so hard, you know, and people make it seem like it's easy to choose. And I've done that. I've been like, look, if you can't say Black Lives Matter, I ain't got no time for, you know what I mean? I've had that thought and have probably shared a Facebook post that said that, you know what I mean? Like, but as I'm kind of just like really thinking about this, I'm like, it's hard to, it's too complex to just make it like that, you know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Like I said, man, we would never, like I said earlier, we would never be on point on what we're supposed to do exactly, especially in the eyes of God.
Yeah.
But we definitely can, you know, seek wisdom and seek understanding from one another, especially the Black community.
Yeah.
And understand what we need to do and to, you know, empower ourselves, uplift ourselves, and rise together from, you know, racial oppression and the oppression that Black people just have. And it's been since I've been doing a lot of research, like Black Wall Street and sharecropping and all of the history behind, you know, our ancestors and how they've been oppressed. And it's really something that even in the midst of oppression, in the midst of Black Wall Street being burned down and the massacre and our people still found ways to get back up on their feet and rise from the ashes of nothing, you know what I mean? And find a way. And I believe right now we have more people on our side. Yeah. We have a better understanding of the world and how to achieve things. I say with unity, if we unite, we rise, we think together, we work together, we communicate. We seek to understand first before being understood.
That's a good,
then we could go out there and make something happen. You know what I mean? We don't have to agree the same way. I don't have to have the same opinion as you, but let's have a solution. A solution to where it's, you know what I mean? It's equal. That's all people are looking for is equality, to be looked at the same way as their counterparts. You know what I mean? We're not asking for much.
Yeah, and I think, we're not asking for much, but I think we are in the sense that I think we've gotten to these habits. You know what I mean? I think everybody's just kind of found. I think it's human nature to seek equilibrium. Like we want to find balance. I think that's just our human nature, and so that's like balance is comfortable. Right. So anytime the balance offsets, it creates like tension. It creates like, you know what I mean? It creates issues. And so I think, you know, with COVID and then with this, like the equilibrium is just like crazy right now. Like, and I for me, I feel like it's a perfect example. I think the Black community has been so resilient, and we have our issues too, but I think we've been so resilient, and we have so much to offer to the world. Right. That I think, in my opinion, I think this is a great opportunity for us to lead out. You know, because I think there's those different points in history where I think everyone gets a spotlight. You know what I mean? I think we want equality and everyone to, you know, get the same thing. But I think there's times when like certain people lead. Right. You know what I mean? And like leading all, you know, is service to an extent. So I think a great, in my opinion, I would love to see the Black community like seize this moment where we have the voice and we have the light to lead out, and for our other, you know, the other people, the white people and other people, you know, other colored or brown people or whatever, you know, Mexican, whatever you are, like, yo, follow our lead for a little bit, or like let us hear our voice and like kind of allow yourself to kind of achieve equilibrium or discomfort, you know what I mean, and allowing us to lead. And I think that'll get us to another place of equilibrium, you know what I mean? It'll help balance it out because it's tilted. So like, hey, let's put a rock here on this end, let the Black people like kind of lead out and have their voice, and it'll like balance out, you know what I mean? And then next time it's like okay, let's let the Mexican people bounce, you know what I mean? And then I think white people have their day, or they've had their day in the back, you know what I mean? Like
years.
So
but, that's. Have you yourself experienced any racial prejudice or racial, any type of racial.
Yeah, I mean, I think the things I've experienced have been fairly subtle. You know, I couldn't give you an example of blatant racism. Like, no one ever just said the N-word to my face in a malicious way. You know what I mean? I felt it. I felt it in insensitive things that friends have said or jokes that have been said that were insensitive or were racist, but like socially accepted. Right. You know what I mean?
Things have just been going over the years,
or just how I've been viewed. Like, I think a lot of times, you know, when I was at UMHB, I think a lot of people saw me as, I feel like I just always got labeled as like this fast athlete. You know what I mean? I felt like people embraced me because I was good at sports.
Right.
But I never was convinced that they appreciated me for who I was as a person. You know what I mean? That's the thing I've experienced, and I don't know if I can attribute that to race, or if I don't know what to attribute that to. I think I can attribute to aspects of that as race. You know, I think, you know, anytime people just assume I'm an athlete because I'm black and I'm athletic, you know what I mean? Yes, and I think people have kind of just formed this opinion and this level of like value that we place on that. And I'm like, okay, if you strip that away from me, do I still get treated with the same respect? Do I still get the same opportunities if I don't have that? You know, and so that's the thing that I have experienced that's been, I won't say dehumanizing, but it's just kind of always weighed on me. You know what I mean? And I've had experiences with the cops before where, you know, I got in trouble my freshman year because we were climbing on a bridge that we weren't supposed to, and I was the only black person in the group, and the security guard and the cop talked to me the whole time as if I was the only one. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, they were on there too. Like, why you not talking to them? You know?
He was a ringleader.
So I've had stuff like that where I couldn't point at it and say that's racist, but it was like, that didn't feel comfortable. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Nah, it ain't. But I do. I get the same way, because I would say I've been very blessed to live here in Killeen. You know, where things are very diverse, and the military bases there. I've been a military child, traveling, meeting new people, and yeah, I feel like many times I did get callous to what some racial things that maybe I should have spoke up at moments. Yeah. But yeah, just like you, I couldn't just pinpoint brutal racism to myself, besides on like video games where they're able to chat back and forth or I could hear them. And that's where I've heard it's out there, definitely. And it's crazy because on video games there's kids. It's kids on those. And it's not always just the adults that do it. So that shows like, man, it's taught also.
It's
being
taught,
it's definitely taught.
Yeah. And
that's where I probably received the most blatant racism. But I've had things where I'm like, man, that's not right. You know, even at the campus, UMHB, I've had tried to get my own opportunities after being an athlete for the university, and still I'm like, you know what? I'm seeing people getting this same opportunity. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not me? I haven't done anything for any type of bias towards me, or I haven't done anything to make it.
Culture. A lot of it's cultural. Like, they reject cultural aspects of it. You know what I mean? If you don't look a certain way, if you don't talk a certain way, that's threatening to people. You know what I mean? So they reject that based on that. So I think sometimes it's not even necessarily racial. I think it's cultural.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if me and you walk into a room, depending on how we're dressed and how we're talking and kind of where we've been at, like, that's gonna depict how we get treated in that room. You know what I mean? And so, like, you being from Killeen and having a little more culture and like just some of the circles you've been in, like, I know for a fact you got tattoos, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You walk into a room, I'm pretty sure like people are gonna feel uncomfortable immediately.
Hey, walk into a room and not have this on too.
Yeah, bro. They're gonna be like, look at, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, he's ghetto. Oh, he's, you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, they're gonna all of a sudden have these like. I walk into a room, I've been a little more polished over my life. I spend a lot of time with white people, so like there's certain things that I people say I talk white. they would probably be a little more comfortable with me just based on my persona.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, yo, that's not right. I mean, like, there's no difference between me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just based on how you talk, what you look like, in your appearance.
Yeah, like the standard of what they're normally used to or normally seen, and what that standard was came from years back of standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like those standards back then are not the same. You know, culturally accepted back then. You know, black people couldn't do certain things, couldn't be certain places, but now it's just like we gotta. Now we're amongst it, but it's shifted a little bit. It's like your hair can't be like this. You can't have tattoos, piercings. You know what I mean? Flashy jewelry or anything. So you know what I mean? And that's from us. You know, that's our culture. We wear gold. We royalty. We do that. So
and it also, I mean, if you look at the trend of like, let's take it to the Christian circles. Like, you know, it's kind of a cool trend now to have a hipster pastor. Like, if you got a cool like white dude that has tattoos and long hair, that's kind of cool now.
Right.
If you put a black guy up there with a bunch of tattoos, everybody's gonna be like, whoa, who's that? You know what I mean?
Like, how do you have any authority to tell me what God said? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
So I don't think people may not blatantly like not support you, but people are gonna be like, wait, that's
already a bias in the head.
pastor. You know, so and so. You know what I mean? It's just people aren't gonna like.
I don't know about his tattoos though, but he said something good. You know what I mean? I've been there where he said what? The pastor used to do what?
Yeah. Like
the pastor can't have a past. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've had pastors that, I used to be out on the streets. I used to do this and that. But God delivered them from there, so they're in this position. But I've heard people be like, hey, why is he in this position as a pastor and he's done this in his past? Or, it's crazy. It's just not right.
Yeah. And I think it's a thing where, I mean, you look at the LGBT community, and the progress they've made as far as, I don't know, I'm going blank on just the term I want to use, but as far as like people, there's certain things you can't say anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? When in regards to, you know what I mean? Or you talk, or like, you know, handicapped people, you know, you can't say retard anymore. You know what I mean? There's just things that like our society has progressed, and we are placing value on certain things, and so I can't wait for the day where that happens with the black community, where no, you can't just kill black people and get away with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not okay, and everybody knows it. Like, you know, the N-word, everybody knows the N-word is not okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you do it, like, you are blatantly, like, you know what I mean? And so, like, I want us to get to a place where if someone crosses that line, it's blatant, and everybody can say that it's blatant. You know what I mean? Because I think the reality is racism's not going to go away. Right. Like, we're always going to have racist people. Racist black people, racist Mexican people, there's going to be racism in every race. It's just we're a fallen world. But I think the thing we can fix is the system. And even with the system, there's still going to be bad apples in the system. But if we have social accountability in place to when that bad apple pops its head up, we squash it immediately. And it doesn't take riots and protests in every city in America to get it done. Right.
I think folks need to be, I don't even say afraid to be racist. You know what I mean? You should be afraid to be racist.
Keep your racism at home.
Keep your racism where it is. You know what I mean? You should be afraid to outwardly be able to do this and then outwardly do it and get away with it. You know what I mean?
And that's honestly why we have this issue, because racism has gone underground. They have, in a lot of circles, I think a lot of people have kind of kept it at home. But then we see Donald Trump get elected, and we see, you know, people making Facebook comments and stuff that are just real. I'm like, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Like, they always felt like that. They just kind of kept it on the low, and then sometimes they pop their head up whenever they feel comfortable. They pop their head up, shoot it out there. You know what I mean? But they're ashamed of it. Like, if you're not blatant about your racism, that means that some aspect you are ashamed of what it is, or or otherwise be proud of it. Like, look, if
you're gonna be racist, be racist.
Be racist.
So
all
I
the
know
time
you
to
racist.
everybody.
You know what
so
I mean?
we know, like, if that's who you are, be who you are. Like, look, you don't gotta hide. Like, be yourself. Like, if you're racist, so I mean, so I'm saying if you're gonna hide, that admits guilt. That means you feel bad about it. You know it's not right. So if you know it's not right and you're still doing it, you're wrong, and you deserve to be held accountable for that. So that's where I stand on that. Slam the gavel down. I don't have any sympathy for that. Like, I'm sorry, you can't tell me, oh, well, we live in a complex world. Okay, on that issue, if you are racist, be freaking racist. Don't hide. Yes. Let us see who you are. You know what I mean?
Stand on what you is.
Or change, or change.
Or change. Like, and that's another thing.
That's why Donald Trump, for all his faults, the dude's been real. And don't hear me, this is not a plug for Donald Trump. Hear me. But he says what he wants to say and he stands by and he's like, whatever. Like, if you don't like it, you know what I mean? Like, that's just Donald Trump. So I'm I'm like, dang, at least
he's showing what he is. That's what I've been telling you. He's showing who he is. I mean, he being himself.
Yeah, and the people supported him, obviously. So, let's be ourselves too. I'm gonna be myself. I'm at a place as of today. I think it's June 10th or something. I don't even know what day it is. June 8th. It's June 8th. And I normally a people pleaser, but my people pleaser is gone. Or he's still there a little bit, but like I'm just like, if you don't agree with me, I just don't have the energy to even like. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And if you don't like it, like, I'm too tired.
Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm saying. When people get tired, that's when things start changing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you can't always. It's the same way as having a relationship with, someone that you keep giving your all, and in return it's nothing. You know what I mean? Or no progress, or it's not you're not heard out. Eventually, you want to get up out of that situation or address it in the way that many people address it because of frustration. You know what I mean? It gets to a point of excessive expression where it could go to violence, yelling, whatever it is.
And like sometimes, bro, like sometimes I wish, like sometimes I wish I wasn't like. Sometimes I wish that I could just express myself. I could just be in my flesh, because like sometimes it gets hard whenever like I have this pent up anger, this stuff like this brewing in me. And like also, I'm supposed to take it to God, and God's supposed to help me, and that's the Christian answer. That if I was talking to most Christians, they'd be like, "Well, take it to God." And I'm like, "Okay, you're right," and that's true. I think I should, but then there's times when the other day, a friend of mine basically said he didn't want to support the event because we were going to protest the Confederate statue, and he felt like he was like, "I can't support that," and like. I was petty and blew up. You know what I mean? I mean, actually, I don't know if he said I was petty. I don't know if it was petty. I mean, it was just I just said some things that I probably normally wouldn't have said, and it was just it was just something in me wanted to lash out, and I saw an opportunity to lash out, and I hit it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't want to be lashing out on people. You know what I mean? So sometimes, man, I wish I could just go push over a car. You know what I mean? Sometimes I wish I could just go hit somebody. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, I wish I could still play football, bro. I just want to go hit somebody. You know what I mean? Because I just want. There's just so much in you. You want to be able to do something with it, and you can't.
Right.
And you feel really hopeless sometimes. And that's just the raw, honest truth. And even with Christians, I've had some of my Christian friends be like, well, you're gonna tank the gospel if you call people out. People aren't gonna be. I'm like, man, I don't care anymore, y'all. What do you Look, we've had all this time. You know what I mean? Yeah, we've had all this time for these people to hearts to change, and they're not changing. And what am I supposed to? You know what I mean? So it's So that's just that.
I feel that. And with the tainting the Bible and God, I believe isn't there some Ku Klux Klan and white supremacy that claim Christianity? That's tainting you know what I mean? That's tainting enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, it's not right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I get what you're saying, bro. I'll be one of the lash out. They need to make some rage rooms or something in the K and Temple.
Bro, that would be dope, bro. Rage room would be so dope right now. Just put some heavy metal in there. Have a cushioned wall. You can go in there and start bean bags in there. Or have the they did at some of those events they have the beat up car and they have that hammer. You get to just go. I wish we had an event like that where I could just go ham on some car and just let it out. So that's why I feel like also like working out always helps me. Like once I go work out, it just really helps me like decompress and like expel the energy.
Facts. Especially I know that anxiety with being a leader and having your voice heard. Even actually once you have your voice heard, it's even a different type of feeling inside. And it's just like you have to find some way to trying to avoid the word cope, but really cope with things in the right manner. And working out and staying fit. You got any other ideas? Praying, just being by yourself outside. Just try to find the good habits to put in placement of your thoughts sometimes, because sometimes those thoughts just run rapid and rampant that you just like you can't really even focus on one thing because it's good, bad, this, that, me, business, who can I talk to, who can I be friends with, who, what I mean, all because life is still going on too.
Yes.
And that's what makes it even more COVID-19. Just super outrageous things that just like we're not just fully accustomed to and wasn't really prepared for.
Yeah.
So like we're in a situation to where we just trying to find anything. It's almost like an act of.
Well, and as a matter of fact, I do in some aspects feel prepared for this though. I think that's why I was able to. When I feel like my name was called and it was time for me to step up, I feel like everything that I've been doing over the past 5 years has really prepared me for this. Building up the platform with Illuminate, spending the time as a college pastor learning how to work with people and how to lead and all the different things I've been learning, how to be creative, never having a big budget with anything I do and have to learning how to be creative and figure stuff out. You know what I mean? All those things have really just like been perfect for this time. Like I've been able to use all those skills. Like as soon as I knew, hey, I'm organizing a rally, it hasn't been that hard. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been practicing all these skills. So it's like for me, I'm like, I know exactly, you know what I mean? And I knew when it was the right time. You know what I mean? There's all those things. So I personally felt like I was equipped for the battle. You know what I mean? And so here I am. Where I am now is when you've done all the training, you have your gear, and it's time to go to the battle, and you walk up to the lines, and you look across the field, and you see the enemy, and you're like, damn, I want to go home. Like,
when it's time for war,
when it's time to charge down the hill, that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, damn, I'm about to charge down this hill, and this battle's about to be ugly.
It's about to be
and
real.
I know I'm going to win, but it's about to be ugly. And so that's where I'm standing at as of today, at this exact moment, where I'm looking down at the enemy, and I'm like, sheesh, like I know what I gotta do, but it's like, dang, you know what I mean? And so
but I want you to know that I have your support, bro. You're not fighting this fight alone. I know it feels like a lonely spot, especially when it just gets, like you told me, it's getting closer and closer to the days. But you're not alone, bro. There's plenty of people out there that's supporting you. I'm gonna be out there. I got your back. You know what I mean? With everything, hit me up. Anything, man. And what I want to share to, the Turntup mic listeners, just take what we said and just try to find an understanding. If you have any questions, I have my email on there. You could send me an email. But this is our opinions, our viewpoints. We don't want to pressure anybody into believing completely what we say, but find your own understanding so that you know truth. You know what I mean? So, and that's what I want to say, and find some positivity in the midst of the struggle right now, and find something to do. You got anything to add?
No, I would just echo that. Like find your truth, and and stand by it and just be humble and, like you said earlier, just have a heart to understand. Like, you know, that's the thing that I think we all gotta grow in. Like, everybody has to. I mean, I would even say for the Black community, I think we gotta have a heart to understand too, and just have we can return compassion, even though it's like we are the oppressed,
and we've been showing.
But sometimes the oppressed, like the people. Unfortunately, the way our world is set up, sometimes the oppressed people are the ones who have to lead out and have to have humility, and like they're supposed to, the majority is supposed to meet us in the middle, but sometimes we got to go 75% because they just don't have, you know what I mean? It's sad, but I think for us it's like, yo, use your voice and hold people accountable and do what you got to do, but also look for every opportunity you can to like link arms with an ally. And so that's hard, bro. I mean, that's a battle for us. You know what I mean? Right. That's gonna be a battle for us. It's like, yo, can we have compassion? You know, it says love your enemies. The Bible says love. So can we love our enemies? You know what I mean? I think that's our challenge. You know, I think for our white brothers and sisters, their challenge is to stand with us and to listen to us and to take action and to do what they have to do to rid themselves of the sickness and the brokenness that's in their culture. And it's our job to love them. That's not fun to say.
It's not fun to say.
I'm not trying to say, like you said earlier, like I don't want to turn the other cheek. Like, if you're gonna shoot us, why do I need to love you for it?
Right.
Like, if you're gonna kill, you know what I mean? Like, no, like what? Love a cop? Like, hell no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why? You know what I mean? But it's like, that's our opportunity, and I think if we are able to do that, that gives an example to the other side of, hey, you can do it too. If we the oppressed and we can turn the other cheek, yeah, and even that word, that feels like betrayal coming out of my mouth. Bro.
Hey, seek to find understanding.
Seek to find understanding. That I'm like, Lord, I was like, listen, the wrong person hears that, and I'm getting a nasty DM. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm like, you know, that's my closing.
Hey,
my closing thoughts. Let me just shut up before I dig myself into a hole.
Hey, all right, we're gonna take a second. All right, it's it. That's your boy Turntup Mike, Michael Carpenter, MC, founder of Illuminate. Hey, y'all keep up with him if y'all don't have him on social media.
They call me MC.
And
Facebook, Michael Carpenter.
Yep, and then that's it. You have it, man. Go out there, be great. I'm doing what I'm doing because it's already been done.
Nice. What's that mean?
Huh?
What's that mean?
I'm doing what I'm doing because it's already been done.
Yeah.
Basically, when I first started doing the thing, I was just like, man, why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing this? And my main mission was to, you know, educate on things that, you know, have been done before, but we don't know how to accomplish it. And then with my faith background, everything is in God's hands, so it's already done. You know, whatever it looks like right now, God is in control. So I'm doing what I'm doing right now because it's already been done for me in the future.
Yeah. Dang. That's deep.
And whatever it is that I want, everything I could think of, I could possess. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that's crazy. There's successful people in the midst of this racism, successful black billionaires. You know what I mean? And you know, whatever is for you is for you, but you can make it in the midst of the struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like whatever is for you is for you, regardless of racism, depression. People go to jail, come out, still do successful things. So that shows me that God's word is still truth. You know what I mean? It's not just, you know, it's not just words or a book. I know, I've seen it, I've experienced it. It's already been done. I know He could do the same for me. So I just gotta. Me is just big walking in faith. Big walking faith.